It's amazing how close together so many historical religious sites are here. It almost has a feel of Jerusalem here in Africa. Surround the small ancient town of Yeha, home to a temple that is what some say is the oldest standing building in sub-Saharan Africa.
The Axumite Empire or Axumite civilization, it becomes necessary to start with the other civilizations that Ethiopia had experienced before. Though the distance is very close, which may be about 50 kilometers northeast of Aksum, there was the Yeha civilization. The writing was started there. Construction of palaces was started at Yeha. Temples or religious centers were started at Yeha. Small-scale industry was started at Yeha. This clearly shows that Yeha was a small urbanized urban center. Therefore, after the decline, probably after the decline of Yeha, it seems that Aksum had taken place to succeed Yeha.
By around the 400s BC, we see a distinct culture which is very much an Ethiopian culture. From that, we start seeing city-states develop. The city-states of Yeha, Adwa, Shire, what we now refer to these as modern cities, and Aksum begin to vie for power and control over the trade routes.
Aksumites were very aggressive, I can say, in their expansion. They were expansionists. And they were able to leave us different inscriptions, unlike that of Yeha, which was totally dependent on one language, that is Sabian. The Aksumites added local language, Ge'ez, which later on developed and was used as a church language, and another one, the Greek language, because Greek at that time was, I can say, language of commerce.
What we have here is a relatively recently excavated or discovered inscription from the King Ezana. King Ezana was the king who first introduced or was introduced to Christianity. This inscription specifically relates to the conquests that he has made in terms of people who tried to get out from under his dominance. So he lists in Sabian script, in Ge'ez script, and then on the other side is a Greek script, all of the things that he was able to accomplish. So here we have the Ezana inscription. The inscription talks specifically about the thanksgiving to God and to Jesus as Christ. So we've seen that transition has already taken place in terms of his adoption of Christianity from the previous inscriptions where he refers to the god of Mars and other Greek deities.
The Almoqah Empire rules this area from the 10th to the 5th century BC. It is believed to be the first structured empire of sub-Saharan Africa. So how many kings would have enjoyed this palace, for example?
It is said that there were 56 kings had been administrating under the system of the Almoqah dynasty. Among of them, one to be mentioned is Ethiopis. Ethiopis is a king who was supposed to be the last king of Yeha, the one who named Ethiopia to be named after him.
This palace was the Palace of Damat, one of the earliest kingdoms in the world. The Damat dynasty used to rule around the Red Sea. They traded in precious stones, agricultural produce, and more. Almaqah, the god of civilization they were worshipping, was the god of the moon. This is the Palace of Damat Kingdom. At that time, a building like this was not built anywhere in the world. Archaeologists have confirmed that the palace had 4 floors. They used 2,200 wood for one floor. The largest 6-meter-tall columns are still standing. Historical records state that 95 kings reigned in Damat Palace. 200 meters to the east of the palace is the Great Mukarab. This is a large building where sacrifices were made to the moon god named Mukrab Almoqah. And for sacrifice, they had to offer walia and incense. This building has been standing for more than 3,000 years, although the roof has now collapsed. The city is surrounded by mountains 360 degrees. The kings chose her on several criteria. One of the mountains is a large mountain in the shape of a lion. The Yeha community is a people with unadulterated culture and dignity. Damat government contributed many civilizations to the world, and these are architecture, government, farming, metal work, business. The alphabet of Saba has been designed, etc. After the Damat dynasty came the kingdom of Axum. The Damat civilization was almost completely inherited by the Shem tribe, the kingdom of Axum.
It's no wonder Kudus considers Yeha to be the birthplace of Ethiopian civilization. After the Damat civilization declined, Yeha was abandoned as the seat of power in Ethiopia, and the nearby kingdom of Axum began to rise.